everybody, Lewster here, and today you currently join me at Widnes Station on the Liverpool to Manchester line via Warrington Central. No, I'm not doing a train spot here, as you will have seen by the title and that stuff, as today is going to be a big video for this channel today, as I am ready and able, and just made it to the level now to start doing a challenge video. Now then, before you start rowding in the comments, this is not going to be common. It's going to be quite of a rare thing to do. I want it to be a rare thing because it might, one, it's going to throw too much pressure on me, and two, it gives us a nice little treat instead of the same old content over and over. So yeah, that's why I've added challenges onto the channel to make things a lot more fun for you guys, and also myself, depending how fun it is. And yes, today's the day we start doing challenge videos, and it all begins here at the local of Widnes. But yes, before we head into Manchester, there is a few things I want to explain in, well, the rules section, which I'm about to put up in a minute. Yes, the boring parts. You can skip through to the end of the rules if you want to, or if you want to know what happens in the challenge and that stuff, and how the challenge works, what I'm about to explain in a minute. You can keep in the rules, but the aim of this game, well, the aim of the game, I've not even explained yet, because the challenge I'm doing today is the Lewster challenge, specifically the Greater Manchester edition. So what you really do, I'll explain all this in the rules section in a minute, but you can do this challenge in any county that's possible. For example, Merseyside or the West Midlands. Those are possible, which I would, and also options I would like to do another time, but to just for like starting things off and going easy and doing it in Greater Manchester, and hopefully I'll be able to do this challenge around the country as well. But yes, this is known as the Lewster challenge, I've called it. So what you have to do is, I've seen a few other YouTubers do this in other videos, but you have to visit stations that begins with the letter of that letter. For example, L would be Levenshulme, because L for Lewster. But yes, I will go into the rule section now. There's one thing I forgot to mention though in the rule section, which I'll explain now. That you have to go in order. You can't just do blah 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 blah. You have to go in order, like every WSTR, that stuff. So then, that's enough yapping from me. It's a wonderful addition to the channel I'm doing now. And yes, roll on the boring stuff, and then I will explain what happens after that. I won't keep this around for too long, but the rules and the explanation of the game here in this rules section, where how the game works and that stuff, and then the rules. So what really happens, this is known as the Lewster challenge, the Greater Manchester edition of it. You can do this in other places as well, as I said. But yeah, the aim of the game is, the aim of the challenge is to visit the stations in whatever county it is. For example, this one's Greater Manchester. You have to visit stations in them counties, and you basically have to visit that station. So for example, for the letter L in Lewster, you have to visit Levenshulme station, or Littleborough station, or any other station that begin with the letter L in Greater Manchester. And then also for the letter E, since there's two E's in the name of Lewster, I thought I'd mention this one as an honourable mention. And there's also only 2 stations in Greater Manchester that begin with the letter E. Only 2. Phew, I got lucky with that one, otherwise this would not be possible. Those stations being East Sidbury and Eccles, so I think you can gather I'll be visiting them stations today. And then also all those stations in the county down there to try and visit. So that's the aim of the game really, to visit stations that begin with the letter of the word the letter in the word Lewster, basically. Made up a challenge of my own name. How clever am I? And also this is my first challenge video on this channel. First real life challenge video, and it's a big one. Of course I choose my own. And then, so yeah, that's the aim of the challenge, and then the rules of the challenge. This is not just for, well, this is for this challenge, but the rules will apply for this challenge in any other county as well, like Merseyside and the West Midlands. But you can walk in between stations. I am allowing the walking in between stations for how long I want, but I don't want to be walking for 5 hours. That's just not going to be good. But you can walk in between stations. You can use the Metrolink and the buses, but I will try to use trains unless you can. I will make an exception if you're waiting for like 40 minutes for the next train out of the station you're at. Then fine, I'll make a judgment. You can use Metrolink or buses and that stuff. If you're only waiting 40 minutes off that for the next train and you can't get out of the station for that long, but if it's for half an hour and that stuff, then fine, you can take those options. There's no time limit for this challenge. You can do it for how long you want, although I'll try to what's it called? Try to go as quick as possible, that stuff. And then also one rule I said later on in the challenge, which I said I forgot to mention in the rules. I re-recorded the rules, the voice aftermath commentary rules, so I might as well mention it now, but it will be like a little reminder when that moment comes. But you can stay on the train when you reach that specific station. For example, like, I'm going to use the letter E because well, I said for East Didsbury or Eccles, you can stay on the train. You don't have to get off at that station, but you can't, and I mean you can't go past the station on a train that does not stop there. Otherwise, that station would not count. You would have to go back and try and tick it off. But you have to be on a stopping train for it. Like, you have to be on a stopping train. You can't just be on a train that doesn't stop at that station. You need to be on a stopping train. And then also, if that station is the last station in the Greater Manchester County, or it's out of the Greater Manchester zone, then you would have to get off at that station. You can't go out the county. Otherwise, it would either be 1 game over, or 2, you would just have to go back in the county, and it would not, it wouldn't really matter. Although, spoiler alert here, that didn't happen today, but I'm yet to make a decision on that, and I don't know what will happen on that. But anyway, and yeah, that's all the that stuff, that mentioning rules done, and yeah, that's all the rules explained. Now we'll head back into the challenge, back into the video, the boring thing over with, and yes, bring on my first challenge video, known as the Lewster Challenge in the Greater Manchester edition. I hope you take these rules apply. These rules do go with this challenge in any other county as well. Oh, and yes, that's enough of me. That's enough from me. Yeah, that's enough from me now. Rules and aim of the games and any aim of the challenge explained and that stuff. You know how it goes. Back into the challenge, back into the video where I hopefully will complete the challenge. See you in a bit. Let's do this. I'm pretty sure we're all glad that's over with now, but we are currently waiting on the 0808 service to Norwich, which will take me to, well, Manchester Piccadilly. This does stop at Oxford Road, but I will be there later. But in order to get this challenge going and what I planned, I actually need to go to Piccadilly. First things first, because I've got a 7-minute change over at Manchester Piccadilly to, well, I think you know what the first station is though. Consider it 7-minute change. I will be hopping onto a bus.
To arrive at platform 2 is the 0806 service to Liverpool Line Street. Calling at Liverpool South Parkway and Liverpool Line Street. The next train to arrive at platform 2 is the 0806 service to Liverpool Line Street.
As I was saying, I will need to change onto a Buxton service when I get to Manchester Piccadilly, and I did look on real-time trains. It is going to, unfortunately, I won't be revealing the trains for all of it, but I know what trains I'll be riding on today, and I know what trains will be around, but unfortunately for me, might not be for you, I'll be on a 150 when I get down to Buxton. Buxton, well, actually Buxton, well actually, it's not Buxton, but it's on that route. And it's on the West Coast Main Line. The station the first station with DL I'm visiting, which I will reveal then. But yes, roll on the challenge. This is the Lewster challenge, Greater Manchester edition. We're currently waiting for our East Midlands Railway train to get us over to Manchester. Roll on the first challenge video on this channel, and I shall see us all in Manchester. Here comes our East Midlands train now, and yes, we will be on a class 158 today. 158788 and 158858. I'll get in the 788 bit. class 158. Got 197037 arriving in now for Llandudno, which will soon be not Chester, Holyhead. Yes, Manchester Piccadilly now. Let's get over to the main concourse. Manchester Piccadilly, platforms 1 to 11. Sorry, platforms 1 to 12, I mean. I'm just looking for my train, the class 150. This is the board here. We will be heading to platform 11. So back this way. Well, here we are on platform 11 now. 331109 is over there with the Northern Service, which will come from Stoke-on-Trent. Pretty rare seeing the 331 on that route. And then over here is our class 150, which will go to Buxton, and we will be hopping on this to Levenshulme. Told ya. So the 150 113, and then it's rear. I'll get 113. It's very quiet on there. Yes, we'll be on this over to Levenshulme. Very quiet here. I think I've got the entire carriage to myself. Woohoo, let's go! Off to Levenshulme we go on board this Northern Class 150 to complete the letter L. Nothing coming on. Well, when I say that, I was about to say nothing's coming on 13 and 14, but there's a 185 going on 13. 390,049, and then another one of its Pendolino friends for Avanti over there. And let's get down to Levenshulme. Yes, we are approaching Levenshulme. Oh my god, it's little! And talking of which, I think there's the junction towards the Style Line that takes you over to Manchester Airport over there before we get off. And apologies that you can't really clearly see because the window's dead dirty. Well, it's 150, so what do you expect? And there's a Voyager as well blocking the way. And there's a 323 over there. There's a double 323, 323, 237 at the rear. There's that junction, which means we are approaching Levenshulme. So you can see that junction from Levenshulme station actually. This carriage feels isolated. It's dead early in the morning as well, at like 9 AM. Well, it's not 8 AM. Anyways, welcome to Levenshulme, the first station of the Lewster Challenge for the letter L. There's a better view over there. The platform looks dead busy. And I think I'll be on that next train over there as well. Anyways. Letter L of the challenge, Levenshulme. I know I could board this train, and I know it's the delayed service, but it's gonna get very rammed. It's gonna get busy on there. And also the next one's in like 10 minutes. So, yeah. Anyways, there's a Pendolino up there. Piccadilly. And before I head over onto platform, is it? One, whatever. You may have noticed the shaky camera throughout the video, either walking, yeah, because I'm probably walking, or even running if there's a risky connection. But yes, Lewster looks like quite a nice station. It's a great one for Trainspotts. I even did a Trainspotts video here before, so why not check out that video if you haven't already. But yes, we've completed L, the first station and the first letter of the Lewster Challenge, Greater Manchester edition, for the letter L, Lewster. Oh, and yes, you have to go in order, like I said earlier. I can't just go down to Stockport and do S. Although I might or might not go to Stockport, I have to do E next, I can't just do S. That's the fourth letter, not the second letter. Anyway, let's go over to platform 2 and wait for the next train. Oh, for God's sake! Cancelled! Thanks, Northern! I am not waiting for 9:34. I might just have to walk.
We are sorry to announce that the 0909 Northern service to Manchester Piccadilly has been cancelled due to a fault on this train.
Thanks so much, Northern. Stranded at Lewster. Or am I not? See the Pendolino on the slow line very often, don't we? But anyways, yes, the 0909 Northern service to Manchester Piccadilly has been cancelled, and that was the train I was going to get. I knew I should have got on that 331. I didn't know it was cancelled as well until I looked at that departure board, and it felt a bit weird because the ticket man was in the office, and he asked me if I was going to school and I'm on the holidays. But yeah, seems like a nice guy. But anyways, as I was saying, I might not be stranded because I have got the Greater Manchester Rail Rover Ranger Rover Day Saver ticket, which is unlimited travel all day. So I might not even have to wait here for an extra half an hour. As what I can do, I didn't think I'd be going there until after the W. But Stockport is the next stop for this journey, an unexpected twist. Hopefully this Northern cancelling the train doesn't affect my plans. Anyways, I think that's a train stopping here, so I'm gonna get onto platform 1 and get over to Stockport, I reckon, because I'm not waiting here half an hour. Especially when I got not just any challenge, my first challenge video on this channel, and also I need to get this done as quick as possible at stake. Here comes the class 323 now for Northern, which will be my train unexpectedly down to Stockport, which I will get this to Stockport. And it looks like it will be on 323232. Unexpected travel on a class 323. Let's get over to Stockport. Alright folks, we are just approaching Stockport now with a Pendolino there. I've been much room to Piccadilly. And yes, I am on the right hand side because the doors open on the right here at this station. The ticket inspector just walked past, but he has to do the guard stuff for Stockport. Anyways, here we are at Stockport. Probably for the second time today. I wonder how many times I'll be going through this station. So I'll be back here again. There's a cross-country Voyager over there heading to Manchester Piccadilly, so if I can, I'll try and make it on that. Let's run! There's probably one time where I want to add a Voyager. I just need to get to Manchester Piccadilly. I just want to get back to Piccadilly, if I'm being honest. Made it. Thought just sitting as well. Let's sit here in the red seat. And I'll explain more in a minute. So we're just currently on our cross-country 220 Voyager now. 4-car T21. Anyway, the plan is now to continue from what I was doing, hopefully. The time we're on now is 9:21, sorry for the hand in the way. So yes, I can thankfully get back on track with the original plans. I will explain the next part of the challenge when we get back into Piccadilly. Hello again, Granny Soon. Nice to see you here again. Before I left. We are in Manchester. There's too much people. Anyways, as I was saying, I forgot to mention on that Voyager that visiting Stockport Station then was not proper. I cannot confirm the S letter yet until until we do it in order, basically. This challenge has to be done in order. Well, I only had to visit Stockport Station there because of Dingy Dingy. And then there's a class 185 there and 323 there on platforms 1 and 2. And then there's my cross-country Voyager here. But anyways, as I was saying, on that 5011 terminating in from Rosehill Marple. But as I was saying, yes, we're back at Manchester Piccadilly now, and we are ready to do our next interchange, which is to head to, well, there's only 2 stations that begin with the letter E in Greater Manchester. Why does this always happen to me? Anyways, there's only 2 stations that is in the name of Greater Manchester, and there's 2 E's in the letter Lewster, East Didsbury and Eccles. And those are the only 2 stations in Greater Manchester. There's only 2 letter E's in the name Lewster. So it's pretty confirmed I'll be visiting both of them first. But which one will I visit first? East Didsbury or Eccles? The answer to that will be East Didsbury. And we will be waiting for the 0936 service towards Crewe via Manchester Airport. I didn't know it was going in 1 minute. I thought it was a bit earlier. Oh jeez. I didn't decide to record the run though because that was stressful. It wasn't like when it was a stop or excuse me. Oh, so glad I made this on. Anyways, we will be on this towards the letter E station in the Lewster challenge. Currently on 33119. Let's get off to East Didsbury. Well, since I got this entire area to myself, why not sit here at the table? And yes, there is a good plug soccer, and they are quite fast on these trains, thankfully. So yeah, anyways, I'll catch us all when we're ready to depart. for a time lapse. Well, when I say time lapse, little flip out to Manchester Piccadilly, and then down onto the style line. We are about to leave Manchester Piccadilly now, but a bit of an update. Although I do need to be on a train that stops at stations. I don't have to get off at the stations, but ideally I need to be on a train that actually calls at that station. If a train doesn't call at that station, then that station isn't ticked. I have to be on a train that actually stops at the station with the letter. So yeah, I don't have to get off at Didsbury. So what I'm thinking of doing instead is I will go to Manchester Airport and then get on a fast train back up here, just so that I'm not gapping around and that stuff. So I don't have to get off at Didsbury and wait for half an hour. I can go to Manchester Airport and then get on the fast train from there, basically. But you need to be on the train that actually stops at that station. I forgot to mention that in the rules. I might throw it in the rules when I'm editing, but it's just for a little update. You don't have to get off at that station if you don't want to, but you have to be on the train that actually calls at that station. Yeah, basically you need, for example here, East Didsbury, I need to be on the train that calls at East Didsbury, but I don't have to get off and touch the platform. So yeah. That's pretty much what really happened. So yeah, I will stay on this train to Manchester Airport then, so I can get on the fast train, so I'm not getting my day to cut then. So yeah, forgot to mention that earlier on. I forgot to mention it in the rules, but just for a little update now. A new rule I'm adding. You can stay on the train all you want, but to whatever stop you go to, the stop has to be in the Greater Manchester County, or else it's game over. Well, when I say game over, just as a problem, not actually game over. But you do need to be on the train that actually calls at that station, otherwise I would have to go back to that station on a train that actually calls there. So yeah. And this is the next out of 20 minutes train, so yeah, that's why I had to make a run for it. But anyways, onward, down, onto the style line, through to East Didsbury, and then Manchester Airport. East Didsbury now, folks, coming up. So you know what that means? We're about to tick off the letter E. And also seeing petrol as well. Although we're not going to get off here, because a new rule I made is seen when we depart Manchester Piccadilly, but we can take off East Didsbury now because we're stopping here. We're basically stopping here, actually stopping here, not just on a red signal. We're actually stopping here at the actual station. So yeah, we can take this station off basically for the letter E, East Didsbury. Woohoo! Oh, and this rule's not just for this station, it's for all the stations and things as well. But yeah, all the back doors are unlocked, so you know what that means. East Didsbury ticked off. The letter E, the first letter E even, for LE, tick off. So we're on the second station now. Now it's off to Manchester Airport, and then back up to Piccadilly again. After that to do. The letter W. in a bit in Stidsbury. And now we have completed the letter A. Now it's a straight one through to Manchester Airport, and then we'll get back up to Piccadilly and then get to the next station for the letter W, which I will mention when we're back up at Manchester Piccadilly later on. Well, in like 10 minutes I think, because I haven't got a long connection at Manchester Airport. I've only got like a 3-minute change, so I'll be making it for a Transpennine Express Class 802 there, which will take me back up. Anyways, I'll see you all at the airport, and now I can just chill out basically. So yes, we've done these things, that's done. So then, I shall catch up with you when we're back at Piccadilly. There's the M60. Right everyone, we're approaching Manchester Airport now, the next stop. This lovely long ride on a Class 331, we have made it over to Manchester Airport now, and I can see my TPA Class 802 over there, which is waiting for me, which I need to make it onto immediately. We'll be on 802.211.
Arriving at Manchester Airport, you leave the train in, the police have a check, make sure you've got everything with you, and as ever, if there's anything that you see or hear that concerns you, or that you find suspicious, then just speak to a member of staff, or you can contact the British Transport Police by texting 61016. Arriving at Manchester.
Risky connection here. Go, 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 go! I am on here. That was easy. Made it on now. I am going to head over to the front now, because it's a lot quieter up there. It's a bit busy, so I'll catch you when we're at the front. Seems to be a lot more quiet in here now. I don't know if this is the first carriage or not. Anyways, here we go. It's up to the top now. I can also see a Northern Cross 323 in there. Well, let's go here. Actually, no. Better take them actually. Let's sit here. Why not? And the plan is to now get over on this Transpennine 802 through to Manchester Piccadilly, where I will explain what we're doing next in this crazy challenge, and also my first challenge video on this channel, which we're moving right now actually. So yes, I'll catch you all when we're over at Manchester Piccadilly. 323207 over there. Anyways, I'll see you all at Piccadilly on this crazy first challenge as well for this channel. Which is going, although it's not been as planned, it's going great actually, I've got to admit. I've even managed to keep some of my old plans. But yes, anyways, time for an 802, and let's get over to Manchester Piccadilly. Right there folks, just not far off Manchester Piccadilly now. I wonder how much time I'll be there today, but anyway, there is a Hazel Grove service departing Manchester Piccadilly in 5 minutes, because the next station I will need to go to for the letter W, which is the third station. For the letter W, if we use the challenge, the station I would need to go to would be Woodsmore.
Will shortly be arriving at Manchester Piccadilly.
Yeah, I would need to go to Woodmore, but there is a Hazel Grove service departing in 5 minutes to Manchester Pick.
Take a moment to check it out everything you need.
Thank you.
Don't forget any bags or cases in the luggage rooms or under seats, and retain your tickets as they may be required to get exited the station. Please take care when leaving the train. Use the handrails provided as the step down to the platform is larger than usual at this station.
Anyways, it's gonna be risky. I genuinely don't think I will make it on that train though. I'll be very lucky if I do, but I would need to be super lucky to make it on that train. Because I'd be waiting half an hour at Manchester Piccadilly for a Buxton service that'll take me down to Woodsmore, which will be that station. Yeah, let's just see what happens. The race against time. Piccadilly now, and now it's time for the very risky and 1 or 2 minute connection change sprint when we get to Manchester Piccadilly. Will I make it onto the Hazel Grove service, or will I have to wait half an hour for a Buxton service? Made it back into Manchester now, back into Manchester Piccadilly, and hopefully we'll make it onto the Buxton service. Or it's going to be a tense race, tense battle, and a mad way. Will I make it on? This is going to be a race against time. Hopefully I make it on or not, and we'll see. Let's get sprinting onto whatever platform the Hazel Grove service is. Look, I tell these people the race begins now. Anyways, time for the moment. Run, 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 run.
Run.
This is the third time I've had to make a risky connection today. And will I make it on? I've got a big... Oh, it's 10:19 as well. It goes in 1 minute. Platform 9. Get the tense music on. Almost there. There it is, there it is. Why is it too come on 50? Almost there. I'm almost made it. Cheers, thank you. Come on. The dispatcher was waiting for me to get on. Now I don't have to have half an hour here. Come on. Oh, I'm out of breath. 150, 134 for Northern. Run another Northern 150 again. Let's get down to the third letter W, the third letter station of the Lewster Challenge Greater Manchester edition. Over to Tickot W of Woodsmore. Jeez, that was exhausting. Sorry for the shaky camera there, folks. Oh, getting a bit shaky. Woodsmore! Here we are at Woodsmore. That's the third station of the Lewster challenge. Tick. The letter W for Woodsmore. Sounds like a nice peaceful station, this. And the next train is in like 10 minutes or so I won't really be going anywhere as much. And guess what the next train is? That one over there that has just departed. Yes. 150-124. The same train that brought me here is the same train that'll get me out of here. Although I am not going to go to Manchester Piccadilly on this, although I will be going to Manchester Piccadilly. I will be changing at Stockport to, well, 1, tick off the letter S. Finally, yes, Stockport will be the station for the letter S. When I visited Stockport earlier though, that doesn't count because it's you have to go in order, so it will count this time. And also I am going to get off though because I don't want to be spending all my time on the 150 from between here and Manchester Piccadilly because I want to ride a Pendolino today. I want to try and get a ride in on a Pendolino, and that's going to be my only chance to get a ride on a romantic West Coast 390 Pendolino today. I want to get a Pendolino in this challenge, of course I do. I want to get a 390 in, and that will be happening because I've got time to do one. But anyways, let's wait for 150, 124 to make a return, as that's gone down there to terminate at Hazel Grove. Terminates the next one, Hazel Grove. Yes, shortly. It's one of these shuttle services, the other services are the Buxton ones that go on. Yeah, that terminates at Hazel Grove. That's going to turn around and then that'll take me out of here through to Stockport. So you get on the Pendolino, and then I might as well tick the letter S off as well. Although earlier on doesn't count because you have to do it in order. You can't just stick that like in the rules earlier. But anyway, no more yapping. I shall see you all when 150, 124 makes a return. Here's 150, 124, making a return to Stockport again. See you later, Woodsmore. Off to Stockport. Alright there folks, we're just about to arrive into Stockport now, again, to tick off finally the letter S. The letter S in the Lewster challenge will finally get ticked off for Stockport for the second. Well, for my second visit to Stockport today, and yes, I didn't tick it off first time because it has to be done in order. Anyways, welcome to Stockport. Stockport Station. the issue at Levenshulme, but now this is the actual bit and the actual ticking for S and Stockport Station for the letter S, the Lewster Challenge, Greater Manchester edition. Back here again, and I'm back here with the actual ticking for the letter S this time for the Lewster Challenge. So we've currently done L, E, W and S. 3 more to go.
2 is for Lewster.
Here we are, our anti-Pendolino train is up on the board. Pendolino time. The Manti West Coast Class 390 Pendolino. Do you get a Pendolino into the challenge? It will be 39123 with the 11:10 service to Manchester Piccadilly. Which will take me back up to Piccadilly. On a Pendolino now, class 390. To Manchester Piccadilly. Let's get this Pendolino time, but we get until welcome on board this Avanti West Coast service to Manchester Piccadilly. If you see something that doesn't look right, speak to staff or text British Transport Police on 61016. We'll sort it. See it, say it, sort it. Read my best Emily turning out to for Avanti West Coast. Sounds quite catches all in Manchester. Back in Manchester Piccadilly, and it will also be the final time we visit Manchester Piccadilly in this challenge, as the new rally hub will be Manchester Oxford Road and Salford Crescent. Well, there we go.
Good morning. Thank you.
Where's Emma Winter on this one? I thought that was it. Oh well. Anyways, I'll catch us all when we're back in Manchester Piccadilly. Hello, Ardwick. Fancy seeing you again. Ooh, 195. Yes, they replaced a footbridge on there. I support Liverpool, so yeah, I have bad words for Man City. Anyways, we're just held on a red signal now. Miss Pellegrino will be heading into Manchester Piccadilly very shortly. Right, we're on the approach now into Manchester Piccadilly. Then there's my shoulder going into the seats. We were held on a red signal because we were waiting for an available platform to take an 11 car class 390. Here at Manchester Piccadilly, we are going to be here for the final time in this video today as well. Yeah, approaching Manchester Piccadilly now for the final time in this video today, I think. Because the rest of the stations are... I will need to go from Oxford Road for...
You arrive in Manchester Piccadilly 4 minutes late. Delay was due to being held at red signal, waiting for the platform to become available. Please accept my apologies for the delays and any inconvenience caused your journey. Thank you.
Don't worry, I accept your apology. Oh, Trump. Back at Manchester Piccadilly once again for the final time today in this video as well, I think. And yes, we need to do another interchange now as we are heading on to platforms number 13 and 14. Transport police here, so I'll have to be quick. But anyways, now I can walk on this side. The next station is for the letter T. Yes, letter T is next, and there is only one station in Greater Manchester that begins with the letter T. And that station, I've passed it before on the train, on the East Midlands Railway train at the very start. Yes, it's Trafford Park. So Trafford Park is going to be our next station. And if Trafford Park never existed, then this challenge would be a failure and would never got completed. So yes, Trafford Park is our next stop, and it is on my local line as well, the Warrington Central line. So we need to get over to Manchester Oxford Road, and thankfully the next Liverpool Lime Street Northern service from there does call at Trafford Park, and thankfully the next Manchester Oxford Road train towards Manchester Oxford Road also calls there, so we only have half an hour. So yeah, I'm really glad it's gone my way today. A Northern 156 has just terminated in now from Chester, I believe. Anyways, let's just get on any next train out of platform 14 and get over to Manchester Oxford Road. I'll see ya when that happens. But at the meantime, I will just hang out around here, may get a bit of train spotting in, and then go from there. Made it onto 14 now, waiting for the Blackpool North service. Now arriving in onto platform 14 is going to be the 11:33 Northern service to Blackpool North from Manchester Airport with a doubled up cross 323. And this will be my train out of here, which will take me just 2 minutes off to Manchester Oxford Road. And it looks Lewster, we will be on 323243, the next West Midlands unit. Just go in. Let's get over to Manchester Oxford Road. We're approaching Manchester Oxford Road now, folks. Just 30 seconds after I stopped recording. I'm going to wait for the David Curtis announcement now, then I'll get on. Oh well, we're already here, so let's get up then.
We're now approaching Manchester Oxford Road.
Bit too late there, mate.
If you're leaving the train here, please take a moment to ensure you have everything with you and keep ticket holders until you leave the station. Mind the gap between the train and the platform edge.
And then there's my northern train over there. There is a 156 at the rear, and I've had enough of 150s. We're going to get in the 156 bit. And also 156s are better, I prefer them. Manchester Oxford Road, once again. Thank you, Northern Class 323. It's still got the West Midlands interior. And at the rear of 323228, also arriving in over here is 158806 with East Midlands. And another unit that used to be with another train company, former South Western Railway 158889 at the rear. And then over here is 150134 and then 156406 is at the rear, and I'm getting in 156 to get over to Trafford Park. I'll explain more when we're on platform 5 because I've had enough of 150s. I made it over onto platform 5 now here at Manchester Oxford Road to head off to kick off the next letter of the Lewster Challenge Greater Manchester edition of the letter T. And there's only one, I can't believe it, only one station in Greater Manchester that begins with T. Flipping heck, I thought there'd be more. And that station is Trafford Park on my local line. We'll head on this Northern Class 156 over here at the rear, which will form the 1146 service to Liverpool Lime Street via Warrington Central, which we'll get over to the first stop of Trafford Park. And yes, it's served every 2 hours with some of these services. So yeah, I'm lucky that I got the right service. Ooh, it was fairly empty on this 156. Very nice. Anyways, I do need the toilet as well. I'm getting the rear car. And yeah, onwards to Trafford Park. station in Greater Manchester with the letter T. Welcome to Trafford Park, where I'll explain more in a minute. With a few teenagers flexing is the only word I can think of for that. But anyways, welcome to the only station, the only train station in the Greater Manchester County that begins with T for the Lewster Challenge and the letter T in Lewster, of course. So I have to visit this station since it's the only one. We're here at Trafford Park on my local line, the Liverpool to Manchester via Orange and Central line. We get some diesel traction in the video. For most of the trains I've ridden on today were diesel. Class 150s and 156s. Well, that's the first 156 I've ridden in this video. The most 150s. Oh, and the Voyager as well. Can't forget about the Voyager earlier on. And then I can say the 802 as well with CBU, since they're both electric and diesel because they're hydropower. But anyway, we're here at Trafford Park now, and thankfully I've chose the right hour to visit these stations because we've only got half an hour to wait here instead of 2 hours. So yeah, I can wait here, just wait here for half an hour. Whew, a sigh of relief. But now is probably the long wait section now. But yes, we're here at Trafford Park, the only station in Greater Manchester with the letter T, which really helps for this challenge, the Lewster Challenge, the Greater Manchester edition part of the Lewster Challenge. But yes, let's wait here for the next northern train. That'll take us back to Manchester Oxford Road, and then we will visit the second E station. We've already visited East Didsbury, so it will end up being Eccles on the Chatmoss route. Anyways, I shall catch you all soon. Alright there folks, just got like 2 to 3 minutes now until our next train comes to take us out of Trafford Park now back towards Manchester Oxford Road. It will be the 12:25 Northern service to Manchester Oxford Road from Liverpool Line Street. It will be a 2-car class 156, this one, 156 410. It will take us back down towards Oxford Road. And then we will wait for another northern train. We'll be on a 331. That train will also be going to Liverpool Lime Street, speaking of Liverpool Lime Street, and that will take us over to Eccles for the second D. And then I will update you all on the next what's the next plan, and what the next plan will be, and what's up next when I'm at Eccles. So we're just going to wait for our northern class 156 now, that will take us back towards Manchester Oxford Road, and then we will wait for a northern class 331, which will take us to our second D station of the Lewster Challenge, Greater Manchester Edition 1. Over is still in Greater Manchester though, here, that'll take us over to Eccles. Anyways, there's our class 156, talking of the devil, that'll take us back towards Manchester. Looks very busy on there. Won't be doing much filming, I'd probably say. driver announcement there. We have arrived back into Manchester Airport where we'll wait for a northern train now. That'll take us over towards Eccles. Back in Manchester, back at Oxford Road. And now it's just a brief wait for our next train, wherever it is. There's so many people. Well, here we are then. Our train is just on the board now. The 12:57 Northern service to Liverpool Lime Street via St Helens Junction, which will be a doubled up Northern Class 331, thankfully. And this will take us over to Eccles now to complete the second D and also the second to last stop of the Lewster Challenge, the Greater Manchester edition, which we'll have gotten done LEWST and E before we reach the R. And I am going to walk up to the front because barely anyone gets on the front, well, except the Manchester Piccadilly, but oh well. Anyways, I'll catch you all when the train comes. Now arriving in is going to be the 12:57 Northern service to Liverpool Lime Street from Manchester Airport, which will be my train to take us onto the Chat Moss. Well, we're on the Chat Moss, but deep down into it, and it'll take me over to Eccles, 331025 at the front. I'll get in the 025 bit. And let's get over to Eccles for the second D. I'll just sit by the toilets today, I reckon. Train beats the motorway any day of the week. Any day of the week. The speed of trains beats the speed of cars on the motorway. It's a bit of... We're approaching Eccles anyway. It's just a bit of a race between us and that car there. Wonder who's going to win the race. Get the commentary on. And yes, we're approaching Eccles and time to go. And I am going to voice over because I was talking way too quiet there. And then I'll make my mind up on what I have to do next afterwards. And then see what else is planned when we get over into Eccles.
This is Eccles.
We're not there yet.
He feels this train is too long for the next platform. Passengers in the rear of the train, please use the front doors, as not all doors will open at the same time.
Please mind the gap between the train and the platform edge.
Oh, I've missed that announcement from that lady. I've not heard it so long, I actually miss it. I like that announcement. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform edge. anyways. Welcome to Eccles. Eccles! There's then dual pairing, the Northern Class 331s, 331025 and 023 disappears out of Eccles. We are here at Eccles, the second station in Greater Manchester that begins with the letter E, and there's also two E's in Lewster, and there's only two what's it called? There's only two stations in Greater Manchester, East Didsbury and here. Well, I kind of visited East Didsbury, but yeah, it still confirmed it. But I visited both of them. Way. So, Eccles. The motorway, the M602 is right there, next to the station. Although I probably won't stay here, as I've made up my mind now. I am not waiting here for 40 minutes, no chance. But what I'm going to do instead, I'm going to be cheeky and I am going to get the Metrolink. And 195102 passes through with the Northern service to Leeds from Chester. Yes, a Northern 195 will have had a crossover with its younger brother, the 231. I don't know which one's older. One thing I like about Eccles though is these little postage signings. They look really nice, I got to admit. I really do like them. Uh-oh. Delayed. Never knew Rainhill had short platforms though. Thought they were dead long. Thought they were a bit to accommodate 6-car trains anyway. I'm not going to get too sidetracked now. We have completed L, E, W, S, T and E. We only need to do one more station now. Letter R. I know what that station is. And I think I should reveal what station I will be going to end off this challenge. Can we have a drum roll please? I'm going to give you some clues. I've done a train spot at this station before. It's on the Calder Valley line.
Enter platform 2. The approaching train is not scheduled to stop at this station.
It has to be a drum-owned announcements because they're Northern-owned. Yes, I will be ending off this challenge once again. Well, when I say once again, because I've been to that station before, but the challenge will officially end at Rochdale. Although I won't end the video at Rochdale because I was thinking. From this point onwards, I ended up starting yapping. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut this bit out because I know you lot will get bored because this is a challenge and not a Trainspotts video. I need to get this challenge done, so I'll update y'all if there's any problems or whatever's going on with the challenge once we reach Eccles Metrolink stop. So let's get down there and back into the city centre we go. Because I'm not waiting 40 minutes for the next Northern train, not a chance. Anyways, I'll catch you all at Eccles Metrolink stop. 195020 and 195014. A doubled up 2-car 195 ends Chester from Leeds. We made it in the end over to Eccles Metrolink stop. Out in the bright sun, next to Morrison's. We've made it to Eccles tram stop, Eccles Metrolink stop, and yeah, looks looks quite quiet is the terminus as well. And the next one, the next tram is in 12 minutes. Perfect. So I can get my ticket to Deansgate Castlefield. And then I can walk to Deansgate Station from there. I reckon. That's a good plan, I reckon. Instead of waiting for a Northern Class 331 to come in like half an hour, which I'm definitely not doing. So yeah, let's wait for the tram. This was definitely unexpected. Here we are, there's the Metrolink tram. It's just currently going to terminate here, and then it'll take me over back into the city centre, and it'll take me over to Deansgate Castlefield to get me back onto the rails, the train rails, the national rail. I'll get in the front unit. Ooh, a new livery. Very nice. And I want to get the best seat. The best seat on the Metrolink is by the driver's seat. The best seat is by the driver's seat. Here we'll do it, the single seat. The best bit is when you get to look in the driver's cabin and see what's going on. This is why this is my favourite seat on the Metrolink. The maps up there, everything's zones, blah blah blah. And then there's the rest of the Skidway tram Metrolink stop. In we get. And I'll catch you lot when we're back in the city centre at Deansgate Castlefield. Continue on from there. It's going to be up because the plan is to go to Suffolk Crescent in order to get over to Rochdale, and it's going to be way more quicker walking to Suffolk Crescent from this next stop than going all the way into Deansgate, because I had a little look on Google Maps. It's only a 25-minute walk, unless if I leg it, then it's going to be a lot quicker doing that. Instead of going all the way into Deansgate. Anyways, there's Anna Critch. And then I'll be able to get this challenge for the train now. Anyways, welcome to Anna Critch. I do like is that little slope where the two trams are coming from, but anyways, Suffolk Crescent should be this way, I think, because it's too late now. I'm doing this because there's a risky connection at Deansgate that I'm also scared of missing, and it'll mess up my plans. So I've decided to get off here at Anchorage, and then I'll walk over to Suffolk Crescent from there, and then I'll get a northern train over from there to continue over to Rochdale to end off the Lewster Challenge, well, the Greater Manchester edition of the Lewster Challenge, visiting the stations that begin with the letter. And it's in order, by the way, don't forget, guys. Gotta do a shoelace. Anyways, I'll catch up with you lot at Salford Crescent. There's the McDonald's now. We're literally on the home stretch towards Salford Crescent now. Although I might nip into Mackey's for a minute. And here we are, back on the trains. Made it back on the trains. Made it over to Salford Crescent Station with my McDonald's. Well, I only got small chips, but I felt a bit hungry. But anyways, back here at Salford Crescent once again, first time today, and my train will be the lead train, 1427. Yeah, I'm just gonna go through the barriers now, and then I'll get onto the platforms and update you all. Well, actually, I'll see you all when the next train comes, which will be my train out of here. And we're down on the platforms. We've made it down now. Arriving in onto platform. This platform, very rare. Heading that way, though. We've got a Northern Class 769 heading towards Southport from Staley Bridge or Manchester Oxford Road. I've just gone to the platform now and I've seen a very rare sight. Of course, all these things happen as soon as I step foot on the platform. Ridiculous. Because you don't see northbound trains on this platform. It's usually platform on my left. And that's because there's a 331 coming in over here. Flipping heck, I need to eat me Mackies here. 331031 and 331027 for Blackpool North. And then 769 blah blah blah's over here for Northern, which will head off to Southport from Staley Bridge. And yeah, that's all that. For now, just got onto the platform. There's loads of action here. Very, very, very nice. Cheers, mate. Now arriving in is going to be my train, a Northern Class 158 for Leeds, which will take me over to Rochdale. It's 158 and I wait for the third cab. Man, this is a busy train. There we go, we've got a forward facing seat. I'm gonna have to fix what's blocking the view. Anyways, we're on our final train. Woo! Off we go. See you later, Salford Crescent. Anyways, let's get going down towards Rochdale. And for some reason, that board over there said we are now approaching Swinton. We are not approaching Swinton. I think you mean we are now approaching Salford Central, thanks. Anyways, I will let up to you know if anything happens. Alright then folks, I wouldn't really, like, you know, start talking about stuff right now, but I kind of have no choice right now because I'm running into a little problem. So I'm currently stuck outside of Manchester Victoria, the Premier Inn, as you can see right there. The Premier Inn outside Manchester Victoria was stuck outside because of a delay in the Rochdale area, which is technically where we need to go. Trains have been getting delayed up to like 60 minutes. Thankfully it's not this train, but I do hope we get there and back all right, because it's getting really, really concerning. The delay is just getting and now we're waiting for a platform to be available. And the driver said there is a delay outside the Manchester and Rochdale area. So yeah, I'm just giving you a little update on that, about there is a little problem. But thankfully we should all be alright now, and we should be all right and get to Rochdale alright. Good news, we are moving now, finally. 12 minutes later probably. I don't know how long we're delayed for, but delayed for a fair bit, that's for sure. And I don't think we'll be making up this delay, but we are just currently arriving now into Manchester Victoria. Over 10 minutes late for sure, but I don't know how long late we are. There's a Northern Sprinter and a Transpennine 185 that have passed through us as well. Hopefully we don't have any more delays now after that ridiculous problem that I even had to mention to you guys when I wasn't planning on doing any talking about there. There's 802-208 heading to Liverpool Lime Street from Newcastle. There's Manchester Victoria now, arriving in approximately 12 minutes late. Good news that we're back on track and we're not scheduled and not expected to have any more problems, which is a good thing. It's on the road all over to Rochdale and put an end to today's challenge. And also my first ever challenge video. I will get all into that stuff at Rochdale and explain how impressed I am as well. But good news, we're back on track and it's all going positive so far right now, which is a good thing. And then there's the junction towards Staley Bridge as well. Then everybody, the moment we have all been waiting for, Rochdale, the final station. Drum roll please. The final station in this challenge. Oh, big moment about to arrive. Time to end this. As soon as the doors open, you touch the platform. You've officially completed it. Challenge complete! Rochdale! For the letter R, the Lewster challenge, the Greater Manchester edition of it, is complete. We've done it. We visited all the stations that begin with the letters of Lewster. L for Levenshulme, first E East Didsbury, W Woodsmore, S Stockport, T Trafford Park, E Eccles, the second E, and now R complete it now! Rochdale! My chauffeur is ready to depart now. 158908, heading off towards Leeds now. Get the champagne out. My first challenge video as well on the channel. And there's 195133 sits here looking pretty, which will form a service to Leeds, which is funnily enough starting here, as it got cancelled in between Manchester, Victoria and here. After a long while, I shall conclude today's video, and I mean big video, possibly my biggest video on this channel so far. Not because it's my first challenge video on the channel, but it was a big one. It took me like 6 hours to complete this. Loads of trains, loads of problems, loads of good uns, and we started it all off at me local, and we've ended it off here at I can't talk today, Rochdale, and I'm exhausted. Although I am going to do 1 or 2 Trainspotts videos now before I get back home. After a long day as well, a long day of this Look on It's Stupid. I kind of enjoyed it actually, I've got to admit, for a very long challenge. But yes, I am going to head back towards Manchester now. I'm pretty sure that I'm going to avoid the random 150 though. I cannot stand it. I've had enough of 150s today, and I want to see what the next train is on this platform, but yeah, it has been quite an exciting video. 1510 Headbolt Lane cancelled. Lovely. The next one, 1514 Manchester, Victoria. Expected in 10 minutes today. 1535 Wigan Moorgate on time. I might get the Wigan Moorgate service depending where I go, because I might go out the station, and I need to fix my shoelace as well. But yes, I'm not going to keep it around for too long though. It has been a very exhausting video to make, a very exhausting challenge as well. My first challenge video on the channel, and it has been a success. The Lewster challenge in Greater Manchester. Ooh, a tram up there. The Greater Manchester edition of the Lewster challenge. We've completed it. I will hope to do this same challenge in Merseyside and also the West Midlands soon. But yes, no more of me. But as for me, here at Rochdale in Greater Manchester, which I've literally just completed my first challenge video. I wonder if this train's unlocked, by the way. But yes, completed my first challenge video, and this is my first real life challenge video on the channel as well, excluding SCR. But yes, I've done my first real life challenge video on the channel, and it was a big one. But yes, as for me here at Rochdale, completed my first challenge from my first challenge video. Yeah, I'm not gonna start mentioning the same things over and over and over again. But yes, I shall see you all in the next video. And it won't be a challenge one. Don't be begging me for constant challenges now just because I started a challenge video. They will be very rarely. I said earlier, these challenge videos are going to be rare on the channel, I've got to admit. They will not be common. I will say it now. The challenge videos will not be common. They will not be common ones. They'll be quite rare ones. These will not be common. But anyway, as for me here at Rochdale, I shall see us all in the next video, wherever that will be. Peace out.